Real Talk with Grace Redman features conversations with fierce and fabulous people from Grace's community and circle who inspire others with their stories of overcoming challenges to create amazing. Grace is an entrepreneur and success coach who works with individuals to diminish their negative mental chatter, boost their confidence, achieve their goals, and increase their prosperity mindset. Get ready for a series of anything goes conversations with remarkable men and women that will get you jazzed for life's unlimited possibilities of success, freedom, and fun. Welcome to Real Talk with Grace Redman.
I am Grace Redman, and thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Real Talk, where I have the privilege of having real life, raw conversations with incredible people from my circles and communities who have overcome challenges and created amazing. Today, my incredible guest is Kelly Green. Kelly Green's life is inspired by her love of fitness and well-being. She has been in the fitness industry teaching group fitness since 1988. She's a proud and grateful business owner of KG Fitness Studio in San Mateo, California. Kelly lives by the belief that fitness is not only physical, it is mental, emotional, and spiritual. Kelly has touched the lives of so many people with her kind heart and giving nature. She makes people feel welcomed, and her enthusiastic, outgoing energy is absolutely contagious. And I'm ready to welcome Kelly Green. Girl, welcome.
This is fun.
Isn't it fun? I was so excited when you reached out. You're like, hey, I want to come on and chat. I'm like, yes. I love it. I love your energy. I love your energy and just being in your space. So thank you so much for reaching out, because I know you and I always have a great time. But not only that, it's like we always dig deep and get real.
It's easy to dig deep with you.
I hope that's not a bad thing.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I love it. I've been, witnessing your journey over the last couple of years, and you've been so inspiring. So inspiring. Just like who does that? Like, who opens a fitness business in the middle of the pandemic?
I've been wanting to do this a long time, since probably the late 90s. And I had already kind of separated from the gyms that I was really passionate about teaching at. And I just thought I'd take a leap of faith and kind of channel the energy that I've been holding in for so many years and put it all into one little nugget. And happened to find a studio that had closed down very close to my house, within walking distance, and went home and said to my husband, like, oh, I feel so bad. The studio's closing down. And he said, why? Don't feel bad. Like, maybe this is your chance. And I, cried, and I was like, no way, I could never see myself actually doing it. And then we went and checked it out and made the decision to move forward. And I think it's just been a huge leap of faith and getting over a lot of my own personal fears. And it's been a good thing. It's been a really good thing. It's going great.
It's been great for, us participants that come.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Because it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And your energy, like, it really is contagious. And you just, it'll be 8:00 in the morning, 7:00 in the morning. It doesn't matter what time. It's like you walk into that studio and it's like a party, and it sets the tone for the whole day. Like, you walk out, I know for me, I'm speaking for myself. Like, I walk out of there and I'm just ready for my day. And I know that, so many of the other people I know that come to the studio feel the same. I also know that, we all have we all have challenges. And, I know you've experienced some challenges, but let me tell you, I've never walked into a space that you're in and noticed that you're going through something. Like, girl, you always show up with a smile and with this amazing energy. Like, how do you do that? Because it's not easy when you're going through stuff to show up that way. It's not easy.
No, it's not easy. And this could possibly sound like a load of BS, but it's really not. I'm lucky enough to do what I love to do daily. So whether it's fitness or, I teach at school still, and I'm truly like, I truly love what I do. So loving what I do for my career helps me get through whatever challenges might be happening personally or in my family or in my life. Or so that's one thing, is doing what I love to do helps. Doesn't make the problems go away, but it helps channel the energy away from them for a little while. The other thing is when you're around good people, it helps you get through the stuff that you're dealing with. Doesn't make it go away, but when you're in a room full of like-minded people with good energy and good intentions, you kind of feel that without even having to say it. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's really the truth. That's how I've managed to get through some pretty hefty hurdles, for lack of a better word.
So you're doing what you love, and then surrounded by incredible people. Well, you're also incredible, so you're going to attract those incredible people.
Well, I think people, like-minded people, kind of end up attracting, like being in the same tribe type of thing, or
Totally.
That's kind of like how I feel the studio has kind of grown, is people that walk in the door and stay there are there for a reason other than the workout, because you can go anywhere. There's a million great places to work out. But the people that have ended up in the studio and stay, I can't imagine it's just for the workout. It's for more than just the workout. Like the workouts are going to be fun and great and hardcore and all that, whatever, all the above. But it's more than that. It's just so much more than that. People laugh and giggle and share parts of their lives with each other, and stand on the sidewalk after class and talk about life. And that helps me a lot. Just seeing that. It's other people help me with my own stuff without them even knowing. So
I love that. That's beautiful. And the word that's kind of coming into my mind is community.
Oh my God, 100%. I've said that from day one. When I opened, I was like, I want a community of people that, of course, fitness matters. That gets you in the door, but it doesn't matter what level of fitness. I mean, if you do 100 burpees or a half a burpee, can I swear?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Like, it doesn't matter if you can do a push-up.
Just be you.
I mean, I know. Well, I know when we're together, but like we're live, so I don't know if I have to behave. But like when we're, I'm working. Okay, I'll come out in a minute. Sorry. When people walk in the door, usually or always at a gym, they always worry about how fit they are, how strong they are, and that doesn't really matter here. It doesn't matter here. I mean, the willingness to walk in the door into a community is what matters to me. And again, that could sound like hocus pocus and all like woohoo, but I mean that, and I've meant that from day one teaching.
Well, no, it's not hocus. I mean, you walk your talk. You really do.
Yeah, no, I definitely do. I definitely do. Yeah.
And something, that I know, it's like you have all different walks of life come through that studio, all different levels of fitness, and you make everyone feel comfortable, and there's something for everyone. And so I think there's a lot to be said for that, because it can be intimidating to go into a gym or a studio, if you don't feel great. And most of us struggle with that, and I'm going to get to that, the body image and self-acceptance, that you also coach. So, but you've created an environment and a space where anyone can walk in there and feel comfortable. I appreciate that about not only when you're at KG Fitness, not only in your own studio, but, in the classes that you've taught throughout the years, you always make everyone feel comfortable. And I think that's what helps create community.
Thank you.
It's feeling safe, and you make people feel safe.
Yeah, I think we live in a world of a lot of self-doubt, a lot of not being good enough. That seems to be the bottom line for most people, or a lot of people, I should say, and personally. So I think knowing how that feels, even like a lot of people don't think that about me because I'm jolly and I'm happy, and I'm genuinely a happy soul.
No, you are. Well, we can be this and that. I mean,
Yeah.
we can be, you know, happy and have these insecurities. Like we're freaking human. That's
Yeah.
that's human behavior.
Yeah.
We'd be psychopaths if we didn't have, you know,
Right.
some.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those people that know they think they have it all, they don't. They don't. But I want people that walk in the door scared and worried and, oh, you know, people are fit and strong and whatever, whatever, whatever. I want them to leave not feeling that anymore, you know, or come back enough times to really know that that's the truth. So I hope that that's what I'm creating.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, you are. And something that I really love, one of your philosophies is you say that you believe that fitness is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, and spiritual. So can you kind of talk to us about that? Let's talk about that.
Well, on like the very surface level, right? I mean, if you just picture, like if you've been to a group fitness class of any sort, just the energy, um, just like if you walk in the room and you see like all the different people, ages, sizes, whatever, all of it. And then you turn the music on, and you know how the music is. I mean, for me, the minute the music's on, it's a party, or the energy shifts. So, I mean, that alone is like an emotional shift of energy.
Yes.
And it doesn't make the problems go away, or it doesn't make life perfect, but just that like energy. And then, my goodness, if you get like a few people that hoot and holler in class, or you know, laugh and scream, or like start hollering when the work gets too hard, or you know, want more, it I mean, like the endorphin rush, I mean,
Yeah.
okay, that's real. And I just feel like sometimes people walk in like exhausted or tired or stressed or anxious for something, and then it shifts during
Hmm.
class.
Hmm.
And
Absolutely.
most people leave feeling different than they walked in the door, mentally, physically, emotionally. You know, people come into classes for all kinds of reasons and may not even notice like the emotional or spiritual part, but damn, that's real. I
It
mean, yeah, you
is.
notice the physical part because you're sweating and you're out of breath and you're drinking water and all that stuff, and that's great. But the lift in mood and spirit and soul
Mm. It's
is a
amazing. It's amazing. And I know for myself, sometimes I come in, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm tired or whatever. And then my state shifts immediately. But I also know that I know Tony Robbins talks about this a lot, and you know this,
yeah,
shifting your emotional state. And walking into your studio or any studio, you're shifting your state by when you're moving your body,
mm,
right? And then, like you said, you have the music and the community. So that's a huge endorphin boost
yeah,
to,
for
to
sure.
shift the state. So I totally see where you're coming from when you say it's emotional, spiritual, and mental, and it's so important to our well-being.
Right.
Not
And I
just
think too, like the mental, um, and I think I speak for a lot of like fitness instructors. So I'm not saying most, I would hope fitness instructors do this, is where the mental part of actually participating in something like that is sometimes pretty heavy for people. Like, oh, I can't squat like this person next to me, or I can't do that many push-ups. But then you show them ways to modify or completely different options. Like maybe someone just isn't into a specific move, but you show them this other option, and you remind them that it's not a better or worse option. It's just a different option. You keep reminding people that like whatever they're doing is for them and nobody else. And I think just through all the years of seeing people like come in feeling intimidated by their surroundings, and or feeling like they can't, again, not good enough or whatever, or not strong enough or fit enough, it's I really try to like foster that shift in your mindset, and really like genuinely try to do that. I mean, people all have their own stories in their own minds, but if for that little short time in their lives, if they can feel accomplished and like they did something good, like wow, what a nice mental boost for
Yes.
a short time. So
So what would be, let's say you're in class and you see there's different fitness levels and you're about to do, I don't know, push up. Because I know I can't do my push ups on my toes anymore. I choose not to. So how would you motivate me, like not to feel bad, getting on my knees?
come on, girl, I've looked you straight in the eye on your knees. We're all good. I mean, like, we just do what we do. In fact, here's the thing. Okay, here's me getting real talk here. If someone notices how you're doing the push-up, then first of all, I don't want them at my gym because, like, who cares? Like,
Totally.
you're like, I mean, I know that's kind of like nasty, but shit, like, you're there. We are all there for ourselves.
Yeah.
So if I'm busy looking at someone else's workout, I mean, really? So, I mean, for me, like, if I'm up there kind of navigating the class, it's like I try not to even put the focus on knees or toes or that. It's on like, let's just do how many you can for as much time, and then we like talk about the music, or we talk about, you know, like whatever things you need to do with your body in order to do whatever option you've chosen. And also I try to do like I don't know if you noticed, but like sometimes when we do those harder moves, I do it based on time as opposed to you got to do 10 reps.
Yeah.
Let's go for 30 seconds and then you guys do whatever you can for 30 seconds.
Yeah. No, at your pace. And you're great at that.
More is not better sometimes for people. And I think to do whatever we can to sprinkle in a little bit of positivity and focus on more the fact that you're there as opposed to like, you don't have to be the superstar, you know. I can do this many things at that meeting. I mean, that's not the culture I really want to breed at the studio. I mean, it's great. I love the workouts. I love, you know, seeing people kick their own ass, but kicking your own ass could be all levels. I mean,
Totally.
right?
And, you know, so it sounds like just being, you know, be in competition with yourself. So to get better each day and focus on yourself instead of what's outside of you.
Yeah.
I struggle with that. I know sometimes like I get into the comparison, you know, not video, but outside of it.
Every day.
I'm going to keep it real, you know, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, I should be doing better and I should be doing this. And I have to stop myself and remind myself, like, everyone's on their own journey. This is my journey. You know, my experiences are different, and comparison is self-sabotage. So reminding myself and then celebrating, okay, you know, I did this great today instead of I did this shitty today.
It's funny. When I was walking home from the studio just now before our talk, I was thinking about self-sabotage. I was thinking about how we really can become our biggest enemy. We ourselves
Yeah.
carry such heavy in ourselves about ourselves sometimes. And, you know, I mean, if we're getting real here, there's days that I'm in the studio, like, you know, cleaning the floor, you're doing all that stuff behind the scenes. And this is getting real. Like I'll glance at myself in the mirror and I'll be like, oh my God, like I shouldn't own a studio. Like I'm not fit enough. I'm not tall enough. My boobs aren't the right size. My ass is too big. Like, and it's real. I mean, that's definitely part of this whole journey for me. I mean, and you said like too, we sabotage ourselves. And so some days I'm able to be like, you know, after years of therapy, able to be,
me too.
You are good enough. You don't have to look a certain way to own a studio. And even if you looked a certain way, would you be happy? Like, so it's a constant. I mean, it's a constant.
For sure. Well, it's a practice. And as long as we're alive and breathing, I was on a podcast yesterday and, I said, look, you know, we were talking about perfectionism, and I wanted to put this out there. You know, we're coaches, and you know, you're a fitness instructor. I'm a coach and entrepreneur. And do we know everything? No, we don't. Do we have to be perfect to be good at what we do? Absolutely not. We're human, and we can still be, you know, excellent at what we do and still be flawed, because this is life. This is life. Show me one person that's perfect.
Not a single one.
No. And at the same time, it's where we are is perfect for us.
Yeah. I feel like it's a work in progress.
For sure. Because we wouldn't be alive if it was like, if we were, you know, reached that perfectionism, like why would we need to be here? There's nothing left to learn.
Right.
You use a word that I love, and that word is grit.
Oh, yeah.
What does it mean to you?
Well, I mean, it means a lot. Like it could mean a lot in a workout class, but grit in life is what I think of. Like, my God. I mean, everybody has their share of challenges.
Sure.
And I feel like the only way to maybe not even get over them, but to go through them and to move forward with it, whatever challenge is in your life, is to have that grit that there's no way I'm going to quit,
Hmm.
regardless of how horrible or how hard it is. Um, Maybe I need to step back. Maybe I need some time away. Maybe I need to take a walk by myself. Maybe I need to cry. But hell no, I will not quit, or I will not um, stop trying to get through this. And that could be my own personal stuff or stuff that life has been a part of my life, um, which there's been a few
Sure.
large,
We all have
you
things.
know.
We all do.
But yeah, grit. I mean, it's just saying the word makes me feel stronger. Like
Hmm.
it's like I just picture like there's no way I'm gonna stop this. I'm not going to. Like, every time in your life when you're like, really? Like something happens that's like not easy, and then like you're barely dealing with that, and then something you're like, what the hell? Really? Now this, and now this, and you're like, all right, I'm still not gonna back up from this. I'm still
Yes.
gonna.
Yes. Yes. Well, we're a lot alike in that sense. I always think of, I love the Rocky Balboa, movies, and since I was a kid, and
Yeah.
whenever I get, backed up into a wall or I feel discouraged, like I go back to that moment, like when Rocky was getting his ass beat.
Yeah.
He was getting, and he did not go down. Like and that to me, I've to get to where I am today, I would definitely use my grit and had to have grit just like you. And, you know, in a lot of sense, it was a form of survival, right? But
Yes.
then it turned into a game. Like, you're not going to take me down. Like, I'm going to come, the eye of the tiger.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
So,
don't know, like in the if I think back, like specific bumps in my path, um, you almost don't know you almost don't know you've got grit until
yeah.
you get through. Or do you know what I'm trying to say? Like when you're going through it and you're in it, whatever it is, you get through it.
Yeah.
And then in hindsight, you're like, damn, like that's grit.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
you do what you have to do to get, and I think that's kind of the fight or flight, that survival instinct comes on and you have a choice. Either I'm going to fight or I'm going to fight or flight. And, we're fighters. Like again, like, we have similar backgrounds, and that's where that grit comes through, just to push through it.
yeah.
And I know there's also a time where it comes where it's like, okay, like you got to step back and take a breath. You can't push through this.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. There has, and I'm sure there will be times when, I need extra support. I need to take a break. Um, my head spins. I'm cranky. I'm down in the dumps. I mean, that's real stuff. So
For
it's not
sure.
like everything's always just like, oh, push through it, because that's not realistic either.
It's
Um,
not sustainable, I mean, I'll tell you what, like when I was pushing through and using my grit, I got to a point where I broke down. It wasn't sustainable anymore.
yeah,
And I didn't know how to ask for help
right.
because that felt weak.
Oh shit, girl, I'm the opposite. I've been getting help since it's my first.
Now I have no problem, but I had a belief like, it's like I had to do this myself.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and so
yeah,
then the grit kind of, I'm like, I don't have, I need some help.
yeah. For a lot of years, I got professional help, like in my teens and all the way up through. And it was kind of a secret kind of thing,
Mhm.
secretive, I guess. But maybe 10, 12 years ago, it was like that's when I started um, being more open about it, being more honest about it. And that's been amazing for me.
Yes.
I don't like to like share my whole world with everybody, but just
we don't
letting,
have to.
but just even saying like, oh yeah, I get some help from my therapist, or I've been through this, or, family members, I've gone through this or that, whatever. It like, again, that's when you're vulnerable, like it opens up other people sometimes.
Yes.
It's not like I'm running around telling the whole planet, but sometimes, like when the conversation, like how you and I can just like, you say something and then you're like, oh, and sometimes talking about it, and that you're not alone, or you're not, if it's like your own private struggle, like, and then when I talked about that with people in the beginning, how I had my own private stuff going on, it wasn't as hard as I thought, because I'm not alone.
Right.
A lot of people battle their own stuff, and
And
it's
and I like how you bring that up. I mean, I'm like I've said, like I went to therapy for 25 plus years, and I still have a coach. So I always have support now, and I think it's important for us to destigmatize. Is that a word? Is that a word? Destigmatize.
I think it's a word. I'm a school teacher. I should know.
Mental health. Like there's nothing wrong with seeking support. The support doesn't have to be the therapist or a coach. It could be someone in your community. And something you talked about is, yeah, we can be discerning on who we choose to be vulnerable with. I mean, vulnerability is a strength, and we can choose to be discerning. And as coaches and influencers, we also have a right. We can be vulnerable and have a right to our privacy. So, like you said, it's like, just because you're not sharing everything doesn't mean you're not authentic.
Right.
We have a right to our privacy as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it takes a lot to share stuff, personal stuff. I mean, it's a lot, I think it's a lot easier for a lot of people to talk about other people, or to just keep it in and hold it in. But there is some value of sharing it with the right people, because it sometimes you only hold so much in, right? And then it just sits in you, and you.
Well, that brings me back to community.
Yeah. I love to see the community that's happening at the studio. And I'm looking at it from the outside, because usually like after class, I'm ready for the next class, or I'm cleaning the floors, or we're cleaning the floors. I clean the floors a lot. But anyway, like I watch you guys, or other, the people laughing and talking, or complaining about the class, how hard it was, or the music, or just talking about their own lives to each other. Like, that's really cool.
I love it.
Really, like, I remember when I first opened, and of course it was all, virtual for a while with the pandemic, but then when people were starting to come in, and I remember the first day, or in the first week or something, people were outside on this sidewalk, and I had the doors open, and I was getting ready to teach the next class. And I cracked up because I heard a group of people pointing to the bar across the street, saying, "Damn, like one day let's all go out after class and have drinks." And I was like, bingo.
Yes.
That's it.
Luchetti's.
Luchers.
Say hello to Fabio.
Whoa, they pour a drink. Let me tell you.
Yeah, me too. Can't have the martinis anymore. And again, like I know the last couple of years have been a challenge for everyone, and you just did something amazing, and kind of jumped in, opened your own business, a fitness studio at that. So, what has been the biggest challenge owning your own business?
Yeah. Well, honestly, my own self-doubt.
What?
My own self-doubt.
Oh, good. That's.
I mean, you want to know the truth. You want real talk.
Yeah,
there's a lot of like, financially, can I do it? Like, that's legit, like with all business owners, especially now in the pandemic, or, when I opened it. Am I good enough? I mean, this real talk, right? That's been the biggest challenge. Am I good enough to do this? I know it was the right thing to do, because I wanted to do it for so long. So that's not, I mean, it's the right thing for me. Wherever it goes, it goes. So I don't doubt that trying is the right thing, because I really wanted this for a long time. I mean, years of like envisioning it, and vision boards and all this stuff, and, imagining how it could be and building it. But am I doing it right? I think. And like, I don't like, as I navigate it, I try to use all the stuff I've learned from all the years of therapy and books and all that shit.
Girl, I hear
There's
you.
no right or wrong way. Like, I just have to um, lead it the way I feel is
Yes.
the right way for what I want my vision to be. And I mean, thank God so far so good. I mean, it's almost been 2 years. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it.
Still waiting to have a grand opening party. That's going to be a party.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I mean, 2 years in, I'm like, okay, is it time? So it's
I'm
coming.
sure.
I don't know when, but it'll be a party.
I'll be there. But I love your answer, because at the core of all of our triggers is, am I good enough?
Yeah.
And that's for all of us across the board. Am I good enough? Am I worthy? And I love how you're authentic, about that. The other piece I love that you shared, it's like, this has been on your vision board, for so long. So even though you had the belief, like, okay, am I good enough? Your vision and imagining it overrode that to create what you've created. I mean, that speaks to our power of creation.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I am all in, 100% in. I know when I first got the keys, remember that day that the world was dark? It was like that.
September 9th.
Okay. Oh, that October 9th. See, I know I'm coming up on.
I remember it because I had something important that day, and I was like, we can't do this. It's the apocalypse is coming.
That was the day I got my keys to the studio, and it was like 2:00. It was pitch black, and I'm like, oh my God, crying, sitting on the studio floor. Can you picture it? Sobbing. My son and my husband were like, okay, you can stop crying. I'm like, no, because I'm sitting here with keys. And granted, I mean, I loved I loved all of the places I was teaching. So I loved the gyms that I was a part of. So losing that from the pandemic was hard enough, but then making the decision to not go back to those places, one in particular that I've called home, was hard. Like, this wasn't like I'm out of here, I'm gonna open I mean, this was not a decision of like, look at me, I'm opening a studio. It was like I'm gonna dive in and do this because I'm not getting any younger. I mean, come on. That's what my husband said. He's like,
it's never too late.
No, but he said, my husband's a funny guy. He says to me, well, you ain't getting any younger, so it's either now or you miss the bus. And I was like,
right? Jump on the bus.
I jumped on the bus, and then I said, am I crazy for doing this? And he looked at me. He's an honest guy. And he said, you'd be crazy if you didn't.
Amen.
And I had the keys in my hand already, so it was too late. But I just was like, ee, and that was it. And then it was like, okay, let's do it.
The vision. Just do it. I love that. Because like you said earlier, so we are our worst enemy. Like, we hold ourselves back. And you just jumped right in, which, like, that's inspiring. So inspiring.
Yeah. Well, fear could be fear could take away a lot in our lives.
For sure.
If we let ourselves, be guided by that.
For sure. And so we all have those fears. I mean, it's natural. It's our ego help keeping us safe. But how do you kick your fears to the curb? Like, how do you kind of just overcome that fear and move forward with the grit?
I don't know if they make them to the curb. Let's
to the sidewalk.
Push them aside a little bit. I mean, that's a far way to the curb.
Oh.
But I just try anyway. Or I and I don't know if this is a good or a bad or a right or a wrong, but I try not to bite off more than I can chew. Like, I know right now what's in my circle, right? Like, I don't want to say this because I don't want it to sound like I'm like all that, but like, I know what I'm good at.
So good.
Right. Like, I know what I'm good at. And that's taken years of like doing it. I mean, I've been in fitness for the 80s. I've been a school teacher since the early 90s. So I've worked hard on those two crafts, right? Really hard on those two things. So knowing I can do it even if I'm afraid, that's what helps me. And I've really learned to not overthink things, because that really could stop all of us right in our tracks. Like overthinking, what is it? It doesn't really solve anything. And most of the times you overthink things that don't even happen. And, um, even with school, I teach drama, my play's next week. And if I overthink the play, the outcome of the play, and how is it going to be, it's like, it's going to be what it's going to be from the guidance that I've helped these kids. Like, you have to trust it. I don't know. I don't know if I have an answer. I'm probably not making any sense right now.
No, you are making sense. I mean, you touched on a few things. Basically, stay present to the experience, and trust that everything will unfold, the way it's meant to. And the other thing that you mentioned was like, like you've been doing the group fitness and teaching for, so many years, you're good at that. So it's what I read into that was, I know I'm good at these things and I overcame my fears to accomplish this. So you kind of go back to that, and that helps you. That's like a counter example for you to overcome other things or step into other experiences, because you already succeeded in these areas.
Right. And it's weird because even saying like I know I'm good at that is makes me feel like uncomfortable.
Girl, I want you to own it right
Girl,
now.
I know. Isn't that weird though? It's like I don't want to be like, oh, I'm good at that. But I've done it so long, and I love it, and I care, and I want to be good at it. So I trust that there's never even, it's funny. I just saw another friend of mine, and we've been friends forever. And we've both been teaching fitness forever. And there's never a day that I'm not like just a little bit nervous to teach. And I want to always be like that. I always want to make myself
Yes.
better. Like it's never like, oh, I'm great. I always want to like have a little fear and step into it.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I have like at school, like I always am afraid, like I have to be, or I want to be a good teacher. I want to be a solid teacher. So I always have to like push myself a little bit to make sure I'm that for myself. I don't want to disappoint
I
myself.
like that, because
Yeah.
I can relate to what you're saying. Like owning owning and celebrating the greatness, and knowing that I still want to get better.
Oh yeah.
I like that, because I
Yeah.
think that's where I struggled was, okay, well, if I own, um, you know, if I own my experience and my greatness, then I'm going to feel stuck up, and then I'm not going to
Yes.
push myself to be better. But don't you think that we've come such a long way and have enough experience that we could have a humble confidence, and y-
That's a good way of putting it.
and that'll help us like I'm great at a lot of things and I suck at a lot of things.
Oh
I
yeah.
can improve in all of my areas. I've been doing staffing for 23 years. Can I get better there? Yes. Can I get better as a coach? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think I know everything, and I always want to continue to learn, but I think it's important for us as women to really, own our accomplishments, because we
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And just know that, that maybe you are inspiring somebody, or maybe you are leaving a positive on somebody. In fact, my son said to me, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, he's, changes jobs and this and that, whatever. And he said, out of the blue, thank you, mama, in a text. And
Mm.
I was like, you're welcome. Like, for what? Like, did I Venmo him money or something? I don't know. And he said, thank you for teaching me what it's like to not give up, and what it's like to like live your dream and find your dream and like be strong through it all. And I thought, damn, like I didn't even know. I just thought he thought I was this goofy mom who jumps around all the time and, wears her sweats every day, looks sweaty
Mhm.
every day. Like, so I mean, maybe I know you do. I know you. I mean, you left an imprint on me. You shine your
Oh,
light on
thank
me.
you.
But it'd be nice to know that maybe we're shedding a little light on people, just a little bit. I mean, a little bit, like laughing in a class, or like feeling like, yay, I made it through a class, or maybe I accept myself a little more than I did, yesterday, or I don't know. So that's
Mhm. That's huge right there. And I can relate to what you're saying, because same thing, like Rami came to me the other day and said something similar. And I was like, wow, I think we focus so much on like we have to have a purpose and it has to be this big huge thing, and to make an impact we have to be like, you know, climb the mountain, you know, or be like Mahatma Gandhi. We don't. What I'm learning, like you just said, it's like if we just show up being our authentic self, who we are, with love and kindness, that makes a difference. Like we don't even realize it.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So just
no, no.
being ourselves and showing up who we are. It doesn't have to, we don't have to be um on this huge platform or Mother Teresa. It's just being ourselves makes a difference.
God bless Mother Teresa, huh? I think I swear too much.
Oh God, I'd be there for sure. Oh,
Um,
but I love it because you know, you're right. It's like just showing up and being who we are. Like you said, I mean, impacted Anthony. You impact people every day, just showing up, being Kelly.
a little goofy, but it's all good. But
What
I
would you?
think too, like we attract, you know, we our circles, like you said, doesn't have to be grandiose. It doesn't have to be like this, like, you know, to know at the end of the day, like I can feel good that maybe someone that I came across in that day feels good because of something either I said or did or helped them with. That's it. That's
Yeah,
it. Whether
that's
it's a student I teach at the studio or at school, like that is huge.
yes, I
That's
agree.
huge. That's really like a
I,
nice feeling to know that like
for sure.
you can help someone in a way that you don't even know you're helping them. So if
That's
I can do
amazing.
that, that's fantastic.
And you do that every day, every single day. To you touch the lives of so many people every day. I just want you to know that. And um, it's incredible when I come in. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to get there, but I get there and I leave there feeling great. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. So thank you so much
Yeah,
for everything you do, for your enthusiasm, for the badass music,
oh yeah, I see you dancing over there.
and for just, you know, creating a space. And not only for creating a space, but for always showing up so real and authentic. Because I think that's so important. I mean, so many of us, you know, hide behind a veil and a mask because that's what we've been conditioned to do because we're afraid to show up in our authentic self. And I appreciate you for always showing up and being real because we all struggle with that worthiness, with the perfectionism, with the self-sabotage, the imposter syndrome. And just I want, you know, anyone who's watching to know that you're good enough, regardless of what you've been through, regardless of what you're going through. You're good enough. You're good enough. And thank you, Kelly, for always showing up and being vulnerable and teaching us that we're perfectly flawed and it's okay.
Perfectly imperfect, right?
Yes, perfectly imperfect. What's one thing you'd like to leave our audience with?
Oh boy. I think I think if you battle yourself, I've learned that it's baby steps. It's not all or nothing. It's not like, you know, self-hatred and then the next like snap of a finger self-love. It's baby steps, right? So it's self-tolerance, it's self-acceptance, it's self-like, you know, it's all those things. um I also think that when you focus on the negative, when you even, I mean, here goes the body image chat, but keep it short. If you look in the mirror and look for the negative, that's going to carry your day.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean negative doesn't exist. I'm not like Pollyanna. I think life is always going to be up and down. But through even the hardest times, you know, like trying to find the positive is really important. So, you know, a baby steps, and try not to limit yourself. I mean, there's so many things. There's so many things that like I have to remind myself on the daily, you know?
So many great nuggets.
Baby
So
steps.
many nuggets.
Trust yourself.
That's a big one too. So, girl, you dropped some knowledge today. Like
Oh yeah.
so many great nuggets. I always have a great time with you.
Me too,
Always. Thank you so
Grace.
much for joining me today. And thank you all for being here with us. I know there are 1,000 different places that you could be. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. If you have any questions for myself or Kelly, go ahead and put them in the chat. If you're watching the replay, we'll definitely come back to them. Thank you for Allison Pineda for watching. Anthony Figueroa, he says grit equals resistance. Absolutely. And I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, make it a great day and go out there and create your fabulous. I love you guys, and we'll definitely see you soon. Hang on with me, Kel.
Thanks, Grace.
Okay. Hey, love. Thank you so much for listening today. I am so grateful for you. I'd like to show you my appreciation by gifting you a free forgiveness self-hypnosis audio download. Part of living the fun and fabulous life is practicing forgiveness. Forgiveness can be such a long and challenging process. My intention is that this forgiveness audio will help you in practicing forgiveness, especially with yourself. Grab it by visiting daretoachieve.com/forgiveness. For more inspiring tips, make sure to connect with me on social media. Drop me a line on Facebook or Instagram at Grace Redman Dare to Achieve. Until next time, keep moving forward towards living your fabulous life.